I have to say, I'm really liking what the crypto market is doing here. I'm loving what Shiba Inu is doing, especially. And this is a range that I'm very comfortable accumulating Shiba Inu at. And I'm going to be buying some more SHIB, adding some more to my portfolio. Now, what I will say is that if we continue to play this way through the weekend, we could see things get a little poppy as we move into this coming week. And I'll talk about that more in this video. But what we are also seeing from Shiba Inu is an important trend that has continued to stay intact. And this has historically led us to some breakouts in terms of SHIB price. We're going to talk about all that and more in this video. So if you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that bell again. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So yes, looking at Shiba Inu right now, this is a weekend where we did in fact have a breakout, and we're still broken out at the time of filming this video. This is a great sign. Usually when SHIB closes multiple candles above here, that's a great sign for what comes next. The obviously only strange time was back in the latter part of March. We obviously know that we had more news that kind of drove prices down, but we're continuing to see these signs of wanting to have extended breakouts, and that's great. And SHIB is showing less retracement than a lot of other assets in the crypto space. Right now, it's down about 1.34% on its daily candle. Most other assets, 1.5, 2, 3, some 5+%. So this is what we really like to see right now. SHIB showing these increased levels of resilience. And in fact, this box right here is a range I am frankly very comfortable accumulating Shiba Inu at. I've been waiting for this opportunity to really buy more SHIB, and there are some more discounts. I didn't have fresh capital ready to go, but this is a range I'm really liking. If SHIB continues to kind of bounce around here, playing into that Wyckoff accumulation model like we were talking about yesterday, this could be great for the next leg of SHIB. Still continuing to see whale accumulation take place. Yesterday was a buy day. Great. Love to see it. And in fact, there are a lot of signs pointing to this potentially, again, being this major pivot in the crypto market. First of all, what we're seeing is, again, the Bitcoin, not again, this is the first time we're looking at this, the Bitcoin hash ribbon, actually, when it gets down into these lower negative levels, this is actually when we start to see, again, a major inflection point in the crypto market. This began actually in the latter part of March, and now it's starting to move its way back into the positive range. And this is something that creates a little bit of momentum that we could start to see BTC get a bit pumpy here. Now, what I will say as well as a positive sign for the week is, excuse me, at the time of filming this video right now, we will have a CME gap to the upside to open the week. For those that aren't familiar, when you do have these CME gaps, you tend to close them. And what that means is that if price is lower, we're going to get a little bit pumpy as we get into the week. All right. Now, nothing really major going on this week per se. We could have some big surprise news again, surrounding trade deals, whether there are some of the ones that are currently in discussion, whether you see the US and China making steps forward, that could all be stuff that really does begin to move the crypto market. But what I'm really liking that I'm seeing is, again, this resilience in terms of Ethereum. All right. Now, again, one of SHIB's biggest things it needs to make these major extended moves to the upside is Ethereum to get poppy, for Ethereum to finally bottom versus BTC and start to make up some of this ground. All right. What we're seeing here is about 2 weeks straight of ETH trying to create this bottom versus BTC. That's a great sign. As long as this holds, that could be a huge moment where, again, it starts to rocket and move the other direction. All right. We've seen this before, again, dating all the way back to 2020. And maybe this is what we see again. This isn't a guarantee. Nobody knows for sure. But what we want to see during this time is, although ETH is showing weakness, or has been showing weakness, we want to see SHIB continue to show strength. And what's great here is SHIB has continued to show strength versus Ethereum. That trend that we've been talking about since all the way back in February remains intact. So SHIB continues to climb versus Ethereum, continuing to set higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, working its way up here. Now, why this is so important is when ETH does begin to recover, because of the large liquidity pools that SHIB has with Ethereum. When ETH gets drug up, SHIB tends to get drug up with it. It's not always the case, but that tends to be how it works. And in fact, the last time we had a similar trend was, go figure, back in the summer of last year, the point that we keep referencing as to where we're at now. It's mimicking exactly what it did last summer. And then we know that SHIB had a major rocket move to the upside, where just even from that point alone, it ran almost 50%. The overall move for SHIB was, what was it, like 100%, something like that. So SHIB's actually in a great spot right now where it could extend even further versus Ethereum, where you could see even more strength gain, where we get to even some more higher sustainable levels. The next target for SHIB, guys, is to break this long-term trend back to the upside. That's up at 4014. It may not seem like much of a move, but understand that even from here currently, that's about 15%. We have gotten to this point where, again, you have a huge long-term holder base where people have major conviction. And that's the exact thing that is allowing SHIB to kind of decorrelate just a little bit versus Ethereum. Okay. We still need an overall sentiment pickup in the crypto market. We need some more positivity to push things up. And, this week could potentially be that week. We'll have to just be patient, watch, wait, get through the weekend. Again, happy Easter for anybody that didn't watch my ADA video. I'm excited about what is potentially coming next year in the crypto market, and you guys should be as well. So I appreciate you guys. Have a great day. Show your love below. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.